In today's insightful video, we delve into 5 significant legal cases from a collection of 150 pivotal decisions made by Associate Justice Mario Lopez, the esteemed chairman of the 2024 BAR's examinations in the Philippines. These cases, handpicked from a vast array of impactful rulings, offer a unique window into the nuanced and intricate world of Philippine law, reflecting the depth and complexity that Associate Justice Lopez brings to the judicial table. Each case we explore provides valuable learning for aspiring law students and legal professionals, encompassing a range of topics from maritime law and employment rights to the intricacies of international arbitration. As we dissect these cases, we aim to not only enlighten you about the specifics of each decision but also to equip you with the analytical skills and legal understanding that are essential for anyone preparing for the bar examinations. Remember, these 5 cases are just the tip of the iceberg. Associate Justice Lopez's comprehensive body of work extends to 150 cases, each rich with legal insights and precedents that are crucial for a thorough understanding of Philippine law. If you're gearing up for the bar exams or just passionate about legal studies, this is content you don't want to miss.
Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more in-depth analyses and discussions that will illuminate your path to becoming well-versed in the legal landscape of the Philippines. Subscribe now and join us on this journey of legal exploration.
Did you know that the Supreme Court of the Philippines ruled a taxpayer doesn't need excess input VAT from output VAT to claim a refund on unutilized input VAT from zero-rated sales? How does this impact businesses and tax collection in the country? Learn it here in the case of Chevron Holdings Inc., formerly Cultex Asia Limited, versus Commissioner of Internal Revenue, GR number 215159, promulgation date, July 5, 2022.
This is the 21st of the 160 cases penned by Associate Justice Mario Lopez, 2024 BAR's examination chairperson. Subscribe for more similar contents.
Facts of the case. Chevron Holdings Inc., a corporation registered in Delaware, USA, and operating in the Philippines as a regional operating headquarter, ROHQ, rendered services both domestically and abroad in 2006. Services to foreign affiliates were taxed at a 0% rate, while those to Philippine affiliates were subject to a regular 12% rate. Chevron Holdings incurred input taxes on these purchases. In 2008, Chevron Holdings filed administrative claims for refunds or tax credit certificates on unutilized input VAT attributable to zero-rated sales to foreign affiliates. The Commissioner of Internal Revenue, CIR, did not act on these claims, leading Chevron Holdings to file petitions for review with the Court of Tax Appeals, CTA, Division. Initially, the CTA Division denied the petitions, deeming them prematurely filed, as they were lodged before the CIR's deadline to act on the request. However, the CTA and Bank later reversed this decision, ruling the judicial claims as timely filed. The CTA and Bank partly granted Chevron Holdings petitions, acknowledging the zero rating of sales of services to non-resident foreign affiliate clients under specific conditions. However, it observed that some foreign clients lacked adequate documentation, and some sales lacked the required inward remittances, leading to the disallowance of certain amounts. Further, the CTA and Bank noted that there was no excess input VAT for a refund for the second, third, and fourth quarters of 2006, while for the first quarter, only a small amount was refundable. The CTA also disallowed a significant input tax amount due to non-compliance with invoicing requirements under the tax code. Chevron Holdings then filed a petition for review before the Supreme Court, raising issues related to the qualification of its zero-rated sales, inward remittance of sales in foreign currency, recognition of excess input VAT carried over from previous quarters, and disallowance of a refund of its excess and unutilized input VAT.
Primary issue. The primary legal issue concerns the refund of unutilized input value added tax, VAT, from zero-rated sales, focusing on whether the taxpayer needs to have excess input VAT from the output VAT to be entitled to a refund, as the law does not stipulate this requirement.
Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court partially granted Chevron Holdings' petition. It clarified the conditions under which a taxpayer may claim a refund or issuance of a tax credit certificate for unutilized input VAT attributable to zero-rated sales. The court emphasized that the taxpayer must prove non-application or non-charging of the input VAT subject of the claim against the output tax. Chevron Holdings failed to demonstrate that certain services to non-resident foreign affiliate clients qualified for VAT zero rating, impacting the amount refundable. Important doctrines discussed. (1) Refund of unutilized input VAT from zero-rated sales. The Supreme Court clarified that a refund request for unutilized input VAT from zero-rated sales cannot be denied simply because the taxpayer does not have excess input VAT from the output VAT. The court emphasized that the law does not require this for a taxpayer to be entitled to a refund.
2. Computation of refundable input tax. In cases of mixed transactions, involving VAT-able, exempt, and zero-rated sales, the refundable input VAT is computed by proportionally allocating the validated input taxes to the zero-rated sales based on sales volume. 3. Supreme Court's role in tax refund claims. The court holds the view that it should not hesitate to grant a refund when the claim has a clear legal basis and is sufficiently supported by evidence.
Did you know a teacher's acquittal for lascivious acts was overturned due to legal technicality? This is case 22 of 160 cases penned by Associate Justice Mario Lopez, bar chairperson of the 2024 Philippine Bar Exam. Subscribe for more.
This is the case with GR number 205275. Entitled Mamerto Austria vs. AAA and BBB, June 28, 2022.
Facts of the case. In 2006, Mamerto Austria, a school teacher, was convicted by the Regional Trial Court, RTC, of 5 counts of acts of lasciviousness against 2 11-year-old female students. Austria sought reconsideration. In 2008, a new judge acquitted Austria, stating that the prosecution failed to overcome the presumption of innocence. The private complainants then filed a special civil action for certiorari in the Court of Appeals, CA, arguing that the judge committed grave abuse of discretion by merely reciting the contents of Austria's motion for reconsideration without providing factual or legal basis. The CA ruled that the RTC's acquittal was void due to grave abuse of discretion and reinstated the original conviction. Austria sought reconsideration, arguing double jeopardy and that private complainants lacked legal standing to question his acquittal. The Supreme Court required the Office of the Solicitor General, OSG, to comment on the private complainant's legal standing. The OSG stated that only it can represent the people of the Philippines in criminal proceedings before the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals, and the private complainant is limited to the civil liability of the accused.
Legal issue. The Supreme Court addressed the issue of the legal standing of private offended parties in questioning judgments and orders in criminal proceedings.
Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court reiterated that the private complainant's interest is limited to the civil aspect of the case and only the OSG can question judgments or orders involving the criminal aspect of the case or the right to prosecute. The court clarified that private complainants do not have blanket authority to question judgments and orders in criminal proceedings without the OSG's intervention. The court's decisions explicitly noted that the private complainant has an interest in the civil aspect of the case, and may file actions questioning the decision on jurisdictional grounds in relation to the civil aspect only. Doctrines. 1. Legal standing of private complainants. Private complainants in criminal cases have a limited role, primarily related to the civil aspect of the case. They lack the legal standing to appeal or question the criminal aspect of the case without the OSG's intervention. 2. Role of the Office of the Solicitor General. The OSG is the authorized representative of the people of the Philippines in criminal proceedings before higher courts. It has the exclusive authority to bring or defend actions on behalf of the state in such matters. 3. Limitations on appeal rights. In criminal cases, appeals or petitions for certiorari regarding the dismissal or acquittal of the accused can only be filed by the OSG on behalf of the state. Private complainants can only appeal insofar as it concerns the civil liability of the accused. 4. Judicial scrutiny of acquittals. Acquittals in criminal cases can be scrutinized and potentially overturned if there is a demonstration of grave abuse of discretion or a violation of due process in the lower court's decision.
Is concealing pre-existing illness a bar to seafarers' claims? SC ruling shocks maritime law. Learn it here in the decision entitled Lou B. Musha vs. CF Sharp Crew MGT. Inc., Norwegian Cruise Lines, M. v. Norwegian Jade, and Juan Jose Page Rocha. GR number 242928, June 27, 2022.
This is case 23 of 160 cases penned by Associate Justice Mario Lopez, Bar Chairperson of the 2024 Philippine Bar Exam. Subscribe for more.
Facts of the case. Lou Musha was hired as an assistant cook on the M.V. Norwegian Jade in September 2013. During his pre-employment medical examination, PEME, he did not disclose any previous medical conditions, including ear trouble or deafness. However, he was later diagnosed with mild hearing loss bilateral. During his employment, Musha experienced several accidents leading to back pain and vision problems. He was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, among other conditions, after being repatriated for medical treatment. Musha filed a complaint for permanent total disability benefits, which was initially granted by the labor arbiter but reversed by the National Labor Relations Commission, NLRC, and the Court of Appeals. The appellate court upheld that non-disclosure of any pre-existing condition, regardless of its relation to the current disability, bars a seafarer from claiming benefits under Section 20(e) of the 2010 POEA SEC.
Legal issue. Whether a seafarer, who conceals a pre-existing illness, can still claim disability benefits for a condition unrelated to the concealed illness, under Section 20(e) of the 2010 Philippine Overseas Employment Administration Standard Employment Contract, POEA SEC.
Supreme Court's decision. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Musha, holding that Section 20(e) of the 2010 POEA SEC should not be applied unconditionally to bar disability claims arising from concealed prior illnesses unrelated to the seafarer's present medical condition. The court found that Musha's prior ear illness was unrelated to his current medical conditions and that there was no fraudulent concealment on his part. Therefore, Musha was entitled to permanent total disability benefits.
Important doctrines. 1. Limitation of Section 20(e) POEA SEC. This provision bars claims for disability benefits due to the intentional concealment of pre-existing illnesses but is limited to disabilities resulting from the concealed illness. Two. Relevance of pre-existing condition. A pre-existing condition must have a causal or reasonable connection to the current disability claim to disqualify a seafarer from benefits. 3. Fraudulent concealment. For the concealment of a pre-existing illness to bar a disability claim, it must be fraudulent, i.e., deliberate and for a malicious purpose, coupled with an intent to deceive and profit from the deception. 4. Employer's responsibility. Employers are liable for work-related injuries or illnesses, and provisions in the POEASEC should be interpreted liberally in favor of seafarers. 5. Definition of permanent total disability. The court reiterated the rules governing a seafarer's claim for permanent total disability benefits in the period for issuing a final medical assessment. Did you know a general manager lost his retirement benefits after dismissal for grave offenses? Discover how the Philippine Supreme Court tackled this complex legal dilemma in the case decided by Associate Justice Mario Lopez entitled Anger. Jose S. de la Cruz, Petitioner vs. First Bukidnon Electric Cooperative Inc. FIBECO, Respondent with GR number 254,830 promulgated in June 27, 2022.
This is 24th of the 160 cases decided by Bar Chairman 2024 Bar Exam, Associate Justice Mario Lopez. Subscribe for more.
Facts of the case. Jose S. de la Cruz was employed at FIBECO, eventually becoming its general manager in 2001. In 2007, he faced administrative charges including nepotism, insubordination, misuse of company properties, funds, and gross incompetence. Following an investigation, FIBECO's board of directors dismissed him effective May 1, 2007. The National Electrification Administration, NEA, later confirmed this dismissal. De la Cruz's illegal dismissal cases filed before the Labor Tribunal were ultimately dismissed, upholding NEA's jurisdiction over the termination dispute. The resolution on this matter became final and executory on May 3, 2017. Controversy arose when de la Cruz, pending the finality of the termination dispute, reached compulsory retirement age in August 2013. He claimed entitlement to a retirement package under FIBECO and NEA policies. FIBECO denied this claim, asserting his ineligibility due to his valid dismissal and insisting that NEA, not the Labor Tribunal, had jurisdiction over his retirement benefits claim. The labor arbiter initially dismissed de la Cruz's claim due to lack of jurisdiction. However, the National Labor Relations Commission, NLRC, ruled otherwise, assigning jurisdiction to the Labor Tribunal. Despite this, the labor arbiter reaffirmed NEA's exclusive jurisdiction over the matter, dismissing de la Cruz's claim for retirement benefits. The NLRC later reversed the labor arbiter's decision, awarding de la Cruz retirement benefits. FIBECO then filed a petition for certiorari with the Court of Appeals, CA, which affirmed the jurisdiction of the Labor Tribunal over the retirement benefits claim but ruled that de la Cruz was ineligible for these benefits due to his dismissal.
Primary issue in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court focused on determining whether de la Cruz was entitled to retirement benefits, given his dismissal from service before reaching retirement age.
Decision of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court denied de la Cruz's petition, affirming the CA's decision. The court held that de la Cruz was not entitled to retirement benefits due to his valid dismissal from service, which was previously affirmed and had become final and executory. Important doctrines discussed. 1. Jurisdiction over retirement benefits claims. The Supreme Court clarified that the National Electrification Administration, NEA, not the Labor Tribunal, has primary and exclusive jurisdiction over retirement benefits claims of electric cooperative general managers. 2. Forfeiture of retirement benefits due to dismissal. The court established that dismissal from service due to grave offenses entails the forfeiture of retirement benefits. This decision reinforces the principle that administrative penalties, including dismissal, can carry consequential disqualifications, such as forfeiture of retirement benefits. 3. Finality of administrative decisions. The court emphasized the importance of the finality of administrative decisions, particularly those confirmed by NEA in matters of employment disputes within electric cooperatives. Once these decisions become final and executory, they are beyond further judicial scrutiny. Did Philippine SC uphold a $345,000 U.S. arbitral award against a local insurer, defying public policy concerns? Learn how the Supreme Court decided this case with title Pioneer Insurance and Surety Corporation versus the insurance company successor by merger to Clearwater Insurance Company GR number 256177, June 27, 2022.
This is the 25th of the 160 case decided by Associate Justice Mario Lopez, the 2024 Bar Exam Chairman. Subscribe now.
Facts of the case. Pioneer Insurance and Surety Corporation, Pioneer, is a domestic corporation in the Philippines engaged in selling non-life insurance. Clearwater Insurance Company, previously known as Odyssey Reinsurance Corporation and Scandier America Reinsurance Corporation, is a foreign corporation organized in Delaware, USA. The case revolves around an arbitration dispute originating from a reinsurance agreement known as the First Surplus Share Capacity, SK100 Retrocession Agreement No. 9166, SK100 Agreement, executed on July 1, 1973. This agreement was between Clearwater and several insurance and reinsurance companies, including Pioneer. Pioneer agreed to assume a 1% share of the interests and liabilities in the SK100 agreement from Clearwater. Disputes arose over the payment obligations under this agreement, leading to arbitration proceedings in New York. Pioneer failed to participate in these proceedings, and the arbitration panel issued a final award on April 25, 2013, ordering Pioneer to pay a total amount of $344,991.68 to Clearwater. Clearwater then sought to have this arbitral award recognized and enforced in the Philippines. Pioneer opposed this on several grounds, including public policy and the alleged violation of the verification and certification against forum shopping requirements.
Primary issue in the Supreme Court. The primary issue before the Supreme Court was whether the arbitral award's confirmation, recognition, and enforcement in the Philippines were contrary to public policy or the Philippine Constitution.
Decision of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court affirmed the decisions of the lower courts, holding that the enforcement of the foreign arbitral award was not contrary to public policy. It rejected Pioneer's arguments regarding the violation of procedural requirements and prescription. The court emphasized the state's policy favoring arbitration and the enforcement of arbitral awards, adopting a narrow approach to the public policy exception to enforcement of foreign arbitral awards. Important doctrines. 1. Recognition of foreign arbitral awards. The court highlighted that Philippine courts could recognize and enforce foreign arbitral awards unless doing so would be contrary to public policy. 2. Narrow approach to public policy exception. The court adopted a narrow interpretation of the public policy exception, stating that mere errors in law or factual findings in an arbitral award do not suffice to warrant its refusal of enforcement. The illegality or immorality of the award must be such that its enforcement would fundamentally violate the state's principles of justice and morality. 3. Promotion of arbitration. The decision reinforces the state's policy of promoting arbitration as an efficient and effective means of dispute resolution, emphasizing respect for party autonomy in the arbitration process. 4. Non-applicability of strict court procedures to arbitration awards. The court noted that the requirements of clearly stating the facts in law, as applicable to court judgments, do not apply to arbitral awards. This principle underscores the distinction between court procedures and arbitration proceedings.